As China appears to have re-established its role in influencing how the North Korea nuclear standoff plays out, I'm Alex Jensen for Korea Now. Rounding up Chinese President Xi Jinping's first official visit to Pyongyang, a two-day summit with talks with his counterpart Chairman Kim Jong-un largely held on day one. And Xi certainly received a warm welcome, marking the first visit by a Chinese leader to North Korea in 14 years. Xi was greeted by close to 10,000 North Koreans at the airport and hundreds of thousands more people lining the streets of Pyongyang, waving flowers and flags and chanting slogans celebrating the two countries' friendship. This fifth round of dialogue in the space of just over a year between Xi and Kim comes amid a diplomatic stalemate between Pyongyang and the US over denuclearization, with North Korea failing to do enough to convince Washington, but the latter also refusing to ease sanctions in a step-by-step approach. Meanwhile, it's no secret that China and the US are playing out a contentious trade dispute. So, what did Xi and Kim have to say this time? Having previously warned he'll give Washington until the end of the year to change its calculus, Kim said he'll maintain patience in efforts to resolve the Korean Peninsula issue. Over the past year, North Korea has taken active steps to ease tensions, but they have failed to draw active response from the relevant country. "This was not what I wanted to see," Kim was quoted as saying by China's state-run CCTV, presumably referring to the US. Xi pledged to play an active role in realizing the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula and voiced his support for the political resolution of peninsular issues. China will provide every possible support for North Korea to address security and development issues of reasonable concern, Xi was quoted as saying, echoing the vow he made in a rare op-ed this week for the North's official Nodong Shinmun newspaper. It's curious, if not unexpected, how orchestrated coverage of this summit has been, with a certain level of intrigue being used perhaps to drive US interest and possible Chinese leverage in its conflict with Washington. In other words, China holding the key to a peaceful North Korea could open several other doors, especially just days before US President Donald Trump visits the region for next week's G20 meeting in Japan.